Okay, and we are live. Hey guys, this is John. Welcome to my very first Banter Blitz on Chess 24. I feel it's been a long time coming. Yeah, many people have done these Banter Blitzes, and I am pumped to do my very own on this, what is it, September 25th, 2019. It's 8:30 p.m. local time, so kind of got the night crew here. Probably a lot of North Americans watching. Thanks to those of you who are up potentially at odd hours as well. Always appreciate you tuning in. We are on Twitch, we are on YouTube, and I believe we're on Facebook as well, streaming simultaneously to all those platforms. So I'm going to be playing about an hour and a half of 5-minute or 3-minute blitz against premium users on Chess 24. So you got to be premium in order to get that challenge in. I already see 8 challenges in the queue here. I have not looked at them. I am John Bartholomew, as in I am John Bartholomew. I'm also an I am International Master, but I am John Bartholomew on Chess24. That's my username if you want to challenge me and my 1500 provisional rating. Please do. All right. And I'm going to pay most attention to the Chess24 chat, by the way. So if you go to the event for this Banter Blitz on Chess24, you'll be able to see that. But I also have YouTube and Twitch open, so hello to everyone. I see lots of familiar faces. Hello, James Ramsden. Hello, Sean Long. Jason Engler, by the way, longtime viewer of my channel. If you don't know me, I'm a YouTuber, also co-founder of Chessable. We recently merged with Chess24 Play Magnus, and that is one of the major reasons I'm here doing this right now, and I'm looking forward to doing more in the future. See a couple Twitch viewers on there too. Jupiter, also DJ Alanan. And once again, I'm going to be paying most attention to the Chess24 chat. Hello to Bobby Tulparov over there. Someone was asking about the Scandi. Queen H8, the user Queen H8 says the Scandi refutes 1E4. All right, let's do this. Let's get a challenge going. Ed, you are first up. 5-minute or 3-minute, those would be my preference. So let's go for it. Good luck to Ed. Let's open with E4. Ed D, 1773. Okay. Let's play a re. Usually on my channel I play with a small increment, but I'm open to the challenge today of playing no increment. I think that's going to force me to pick up the pace, make good decisions under time pressure, try not to kill too much of my time looking at the chat. All right, so I've inflicted a bit of pawn structure damage here, nothing major. I usually like to fianchetto the dark square bishop against this. I feel like it has good potential on this long diagonal in the future. So rook e8, all right, he's being pretty solid. Let's play queen d3. And now I'm thinking about putting a rook on e1. I'm just debating which rook I'd like to use. Let's put the a rook on e1, just in the case that I can push the f pawn, and maybe the rook on f1 will be useful. Bishop g4, that seems to drop this pawn outright. Let's go capture it. Oh, hey, my rating got adjusted upwards to 2600 immediately. I like that. If only that actually happened in over the board chess, right? Okay, queen d7. Could just retreat that knight. Knight d5 is another move that comes to mind, but no, let's retreat it. And now knight f5, looking very juicy. But he's going to put the bishop on the g6 square. So let me think. Maybe f4. Maybe f4 anticipating bishop g6. Looks interesting. Let's do it. Miktal asks, when will you play a match against Jan or Christoph? Well, I actually have played matches against both of them before. I played Christoph a long time ago in a match. I want to say 2015, dual commentary. And Jan also was quite a while ago, too. I mean, it was probably 2015, 2016. I beat Christoph. I lost to Jan. Jan's definitely some notches ahead of me. So I would like to play both of them again, though. Okay, h6. So that prepares a little cubbyhole for the bishop, potentially on h7. I mean, f5 is not out of the question here. kind of curious what he's going to do about that, because it strands this bishop. It takes away the g6 square, so I think it makes some sense. Downside is I give up control of the e5 square. So knight g4 to e5 seems like a natural plan. But I guess on knight g4 I can play queen h3 maybe, among other moves. Lurk says, because no one wants to get trounced by a 1500. Ah, so that's why they adjusted the rating, huh? I want to be the strongest 1500 out there, actually. I wish I could perma stay at 1500. Okay, rook e5. So my plan was just to try to play h3, g4. Although that would entail some weakening of the king side. But now let's do it. I should know this, but how do I draw arrows during the game? I've seen the Banter Blitz guys do this before. Do I have to hold down Alt or Shift? Control Alt Delete? I'm just trying to right-click drag and I don't get any arrows, but I'm sure someone in the chat will tell me. Okay, do I play g4 right away? He will sack on me, but I think that's fine. I don't think my king is exposed enough where it should be an issue. So yeah, let's do this. Thinking queen g3 followed by knight d5. This is looking nice. Okay, h5. Yeah, knight d5 looks thematic. Open up this bishop lurking. Hello to Evan Schaefer, by the way. That's one of my students. He's watching on YouTube right now. Thanks for tuning in. My parents are also watching right now, so hello, Mom and Dad. Okay, bishop g5. Now I'm looking at moving this knight away. Knight f3 definitely looks like the most logical move to me. Triple attacking the rook on e5, also hitting the bishop on g5. Queen h8 says, John also played Niklas Huschenbett, if I recall correctly, and he won. Niklas is now 26-20 and seems to be on a roll. Yeah, I played Niklas 3 times. Thank you for the game, Ed D, by the way. Appreciate that. So bishop g4 was just too much of a shot in the dark right there. You weren't attacking anything, and it left the c6 pawn hanging. That was the real issue with that move. I think usually black should play c5 at some point in these structures just to kick the knight back. c5, and I can try to pivot it. Say knight here, maybe put it on g3. Definitely a fighting position, though. All right, let's go up against... I'm just going to go in order. Ramarocho, 5-minute challenge, rated 1749. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I was asking about the arrows. Ali says no arrows and such. Ah, so I can't draw the arrows during the game? I mean, in a way, that's good because it'll force the viewers to calculate rather than hold their hand, you know, that crutch of having the arrows and the circles being drawn. I try to be conscious of that in my own videos. I think it's good on the whole for the purpose of the video and the presentation of it, illustrate what you're talking about. But if you're really looking to get better, yeah, you don't want to be using those arrows when you play. This is how I usually play against the London. I like to trade on d4 very early on. I've ran into some London players who like to capture on c5 quickly, so I think it makes sense to take on d4 if you have the option, trade your c-pawn for the d-pawn. These often reach reversed Queen's Gambit decline positions. Okay, queen there. Could play knight a5 or just queen c8. Let's play queen c8. Guard the pawn on b7. e6. I will attempt to prove that the queen on b3 is a little misplaced later. Looks like maybe he's going for c4. But I'm not worried about c4 yet. I can just castle. I've got d5 reinforced. If he advances c5, I'm also not unhappy about that situation. And now he has the IQP. And is knight takes d4 a shot? Not quite working yet, but it's something to keep in mind. Knight takes d4 Doesn't work because he has rook takes c8, knight takes b3, rook takes f8 check. And I will be down a piece. So, what else to play here? I feel like he's going to play bishop b5 next move. So it'd be nice to get my queen out of the way of the c-file, but not easy. I don't think I want to play queen d7 because of bishop b5 again with the pin. Pausing for a moment because I feel like I should have something decent here, but it's not easily coming to mind. Bishop b4 maybe? Bishop b4 is interesting. Queen d8, trying to gambit the b7 pawn. Not super convinced by that, but it looks interesting. Let's try this move. I'm going to dare him to take on b7. And then I'm going to play knight a5 and try to get something going against his queen. Maybe knight b4, bishop b4. Distract him from castling. Hello, Ambitious Pawn. Great to see you as well. All right, he takes me up on that offer. Now, do I want to play knight b4 or knight a5? I'm thinking knight a5. Although then queen c7... Oh, no, sorry. Queen c7 is not possible. It's guarded by my knight. Knights also move backwards, guys. Pro tip. That I've forgotten many times on myself. So queen b5 or queen a6. And now I was thinking knight b4. This looks like a nice active way to play. Keep attacking the queen. Looking at c2, also a2. Let's do it. Invading with the cavalry here. So queen b5 looks like the only decent move. Because queen e2, I have knight d3 check, so I don't think white can seriously consider that. So queen b5, be nice to play rook b8, but it is covered by that bishop. Could play knight takes a2. Knight takes a2, rook over, though. Knight c2 as well. Knight c2 check. Let's say king d1, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, queen takes a5. Do I have enough compensation there? His king is going to be stranded in the center. But not sure about that level of compensation. Could play a6, but queen a4, the queen actually looks pretty well placed there. Let's play knight c2 check. After king d1, at minimum I can play knight b4 if I really need to, or maybe rook c8. It would be nice to just continue plowing forward. Knight takes d4. Play directly in the center, but I'm not sure about that. Looks fun, though. Looks like something you should do in the spirit of Banter Blitz. So I may just go for that. Let's do it. So after queen takes a5, I can play, my candidate moves are rook d8, queen takes b2. Kind of liking queen takes b2. Let's do that one. Threatens bishop b4. So I have a pawn for the piece. His king is in the center. My king is extremely safe. He still has some development issues, like he needs to get this in the game. The thing you don't want here is a queen trade. I need to keep the firepower on board. Blackfin0521 says, John, do you believe in 2d4 against the English? Ooh, so it looks like I get to play bishop b4 here. Bishop c7 is very odd. I think he's trying to control the d8 square with that move, but bishop b4 seems to win a lot of material. So again, Blackfin's asked, John, do you believe in 2d4 against the English? I think you mean some sort of Scandi-like position, but against the English? The Anglo-Scandi, he says. I can't endorse that, unfortunately. You mean c4, d5 on move 1. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't endorse that because when white plays c takes d5, white gets the 2 center pawns. So one of the compelling things about the Scandi is that you're knocking out white's e-pawn immediately. So it's just 1 center pawn versus 1 center pawn, but giving them 2 center pawns is a bit much. Win-loss says, I want you versus Carlsen. I want me versus Carlsen as well. Let's do it, Magnus. Okay, knight c4. Now I can throw in queen d4 check and pick up the queen. Little in-betweener. I think queen e5 was a decent attempt other than bishop c7. Bishop c7 was the losing move. Thanks for the game, Ramarocho. Yeah, so this is the key position right here. What to play. Although actually queen e5 I can take on a2. Not easy for white to propose a queen trade without losing something, huh? Yeah. This feels very much like a blitz position where I think most people would rather be black here, despite black being down the 2 points of material. More fun to be black in this position. White has to defend precisely. They got the chronic issues with the king. That's always a big factor. All right. BXLE, let's do it. 3-minute game. Let's play d4 this time. Hey, Dom Arm says, hi, John. Great to see you on Chess24. Yeah, likewise. Good to be here. Owen's Defense. Shout out to John Owen. I was telling a little story about John Owen on my channel a few months ago. So, John Owen, British player in the 1800s. And obviously he has the Owen's Defense named after him. He also almost had the double bishop sacrifice, Lasker's double bishop sacrifice named after him. He was the first player in a recorded game, to my knowledge, to execute the double bishop sacrifice. But unfortunately, he did not win the game. He flamed out and he lost the game. But had he won, I think chess history would have remembered him kindly. But instead, Lasker versus Bauer, which I think it was like Amsterdam 1889, that got the honor. Let's play knight c3, and I might be playing f5 here soon. I like the look of f5 a lot in this position. Unleash the floodgates, maybe try to get bishop g5 in soon. I guess I'm allowing him to potentially close things. Ooh, I like the open lines. Maybe f5 wasn't so good there because he could have played e5 and tried to keep it closed, but now we're leveraging stuff open. This could get fun. Can we get Magnus to do some openings for Chessable? That is the end goal. Yeah, stay tuned. No promises in the short term, but you bet we have that on our roadmap. Okay, bishop g5. Let's just continue developing. I certainly don't mind being down a pawn here. Black's structure is a mess. Their king is chronically weak. Hey, Jay Chester. Another one of my students in the chat. Jay Chester 87. How are you doing, John? He's also named John. Okay, so bishop f4 or bishop h4? I'm going to go bishop f4, just to make it a little harder for him to develop. If he puts the knight on d7, he loses d6. Also, I'm going to leave the h4 square open for my knight to jump there. Possible knight takes f5. What was the first thing you bought with your Magnus money? Just index funds and coffee, my friend. I'm a simple guy. I might have got an extra Americano that day. Lurk says Carlsen probably does not want to give away anything by publishing on Chessable. At his level, his novelties are worth more over the board. Yes, you have a point about that. He's probably not going to be releasing his absolute cutting-edge opening repertoire. But if he ever does release something on Chessable, I'm certain it'll be instructive. Okay, knight b5 or knight h4. Let's go knight b5. I can't resist that d6 pawn. Queen d7, and then I can take d6 or knight h4. Probably knight takes d6. Yeah, sink the knight in, nicely protected. I do have to remember this is a 3-minute game. I've done this before many times on my channel. I forget what time control I'm playing against a viewer, and suddenly I have 20 seconds left. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. Says he would prefer a practical endgame book from Carlsen, less likely to interfere with the secrets and vastly more useful than an opening repertoire. And we all know Magnus has worked on his endgame a ton in recent years. Rook e8, so I could take that. It's one of those rooks, though, that I almost don't want to take. Let's take on f5 instead. I like my knight on d6. I can look for queen g4. Hello to Ahmad Likes Chess on Twitch. He says, so happy to see you, John. Likewise, Ahmad. Thanks for tuning in. Trying to keep one eye on the Twitch chat, too, as well as YouTube. We have 211 viewers right now on YouTube. Facebook is the one chat I'm not monitoring, so sorry to the Facebook watchers. Okay, he really wants to give that rook up. I think I might have to take him up on this one. I could throw in queen g4 first, actually. Let's do that. Because I'm threatening knight h6 here. His queen's undefended, so knight h6 check and go pick up his queen. Nice to get that queen off the back rank, create a threat in the process. Hello to Dennis Miller. Says, hi, John. Been watching all of your videos. Really enjoying them. You're a great guy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for your kind words. Oh, I have 17 seconds, and there is no increment. This is what I was talking about. Threatening mate on f7. All right. BZ, thanks for the game. So that opening, I think if you're going to play the Owens defense, better to play e6 right here on move 3. e6. Hold your c-pawn back for a little bit, because if white gets a chance to play d5 and then c4, your bishop on b7 is really blocked out. I think that's a piece that you're going to have trouble with. As I said, though, I think I mistimed f5, and I think had you played e5 in reply to that, I don't know if I can get this position opened up the way I would like. I want to play f6 desperately, but if I play bishop g5, you can play f6 yourself. So thank you for the game. Next up, Turfon Fragment. By the way, I'm not sure which way I should be going with the challenges. I'm just clicking on the top ones. I apologize if I'm missing someone or you've already challenged and it's not going in order. We'll get that sorted in the future. Okay, let's play an open Sicilian against Turfon. Good luck. What's it going to be? Najdorf. All right, bishop g5, Najdorf it is. I loved playing the white side of this position as a kid. Still dabble in it. Still a bishop g5 Najdorf dabbler. Ton of the theory has been mapped out. Has been for years now, but still fun to play. Ooh, all right, he's going to play the brown variation. Now knight e5 is the move. He knows his stuff. Now knight g4. This is an appealing strategic way to play, I gotta say. I played this line a little bit myself as black. You're fighting for control of that e5 square. You knocked white's pawn off of f4. Black has this nicely planted knight there. One possible question mark, though, is black's king. What to do with the king? Okay, this seems a little weird because I can play f4 now, and I can support my pawn on g5, so I'm going to avail myself of that opportunity. Queen takes? Is there an argument for pawn takes even? Pawn takes king b1 and try to put the rook on c1? I'm going to go to queen takes. This seems way simpler. Possible pressure against d6 in the future. Yeah, like taking here. Ah, he has f6 though. Ooh, I didn't see that. But then I can play e5 maybe and make it really crazy. Let's do that. I'm like a hair trigger with sacrificing tonight. Yeah, f6 was critical, but then I was liking e5, queen g6. Now I can take e7. His king is going to be a bit stranded in the center, I would assume. Let's do it. Now, how to increase the pressure or open the position? f5 maybe? Let's do f5. John, who will win the World Cup? You know, I have not been following the World Cup as closely as I would like. I've been very busy. I'm going to go with Ding Liren. I'm going to play it safe. And I want to see a Ding Liren versus Magnus match. I can't be the only one. I'm sure most people, a lot of people want to see that at this point. The level Ding Liren has been displaying right now, I think we need a match against Magnus. Long ways out, though. Okay, bishop here. Could play f6 check and queen takes d6, but his king is so exposed, it feels like it helps him if I trade. So think about also just taking on e6 and putting a rook on g1, something along those lines. Let's do that. Let's just take. Yeah, get this involved. Heinemann Tun says, hope to see you do more of these banter blitzes in the future, John. Yeah, absolutely, I'll be doing that. Thank you for the support. These are fun. I always enjoy playing viewers, and it's a good challenge, too. You always want to go perfect in these if you can. Let's take and play queen h3. Look for queen h7. But I know you guys are going to be putting up stiff resistance, so... Botez Gambit. So is that where you sacrifice your queen? I've seen some people do videos on that. And Alexandra, I think, did it unintentionally at one point, and that's how the name got started, right? What are the stipulations for the queen sack? Do you have to do it in a special way? Or is it just any queen sack? Let's play rook g1. As he was trying to block on f7, so maybe I can shift this piece over. If he plays rook f7, maybe rook g6 or queen h4. Queen c5. Okay, but if I give a check, rook f7, queen h4, that looks close to winning, if not outright winning. Yeah, let's give a check. I can also just trade and play queen h7 and go pick up the bishop too, unless he has some checks. Ooh, okay, yeah, he has some checks that he can give. And queen h4 is pretty risk-free here too, and I can just see where the king goes. Let's do that. Yeah, so do I take? Take queen h7. Because the check on e3 is kind of annoying after that. I feel like I should escape the checks, but I'm not 100% sure. Interesting position right here. Could also check on g8. But then rook f8. I think that should be good, actually. I'm going to do that, just for simplicity's sake. If king d8, I have queen d8 or king d7 rather. I have queen d8 check. Even that I'm not 100% sure about, but looks like it should be good somehow. Queen e8 at the end. He has to play rook d7. Yeah, and now here, I think I'm just going to play a trade and then queen f6 and go take e6. Could also play queen d8, go after the bishop, but that's that same line. It just risks perpetual. So I'm going to be up 2 pawns with this. Let's take... The computer may not like it. The computer may yell at me. Let us... Let's give a check again. Still annoying checks to deal with. Go here. Oh, there's no increment in this game, is there? So I gotta hurry. The usual problem. Let's go here. Now I wouldn't mind a queen trade. If possible. Yeah, because actually if king c7, okay, I got in with queen trade. My favorite device in chess, guys, the queen trade. You gotta love it. Okay, let's do this. Start moving some pawns, especially the h-pawn. I don't think the bishop on h1 is going to help him defend so well. Okay, but gotta beat the clock still. I can pre-move and not take the bishop, therefore, no stalemate. All right, got it with 12 seconds remaining. Guys, feel free to tell me in the chat if my my clock is getting out of hand. If this were on my Twitch channel, we would have the sweating clock emote come out right now. Yeah, I do have pre-moves enabled. So that certainly helps. Thanks for the game, Turf and Fragment. So, yeah, you played that line just fine up until taking on d3 too early. So right here. Yeah, knight takes d3 check. Or, I'm sorry, taking on f3 too early. I think in this position, you want to play b5, if I'm not mistaken. b5, or is it bishop d7? Bishop d7, I think. Or no. Okay, this is fine, but you got to play h takes g5. Yeah, h takes g5 in between move. And then hit my bishop in the process. H takes g5, bishop g3, then knight e5. Maybe that's the line you intended to play. So, look into that. All right. Let's do this. Continue. Vanilla. Let's go. 1973. 5-minute game. Jay Chester says, clock is a weapon video is paying off. I've been a little inactive recently, so yeah, I haven't been adding to the clock as a weapon series. Unfortunately, but the practice in that series has been invaluable, time management-wise. Okay, let's play knight bd2. Look for e4. Settle for e3. We're playing the Tory. Let's just castle. I was thinking about some way to play it aggressive, but black hasn't weakened his king side at all or anything, so probably not warranted yet. Let's play h3. E5. Okay. Let's take. Trade. I'll play knight f3 after that, or bishop f4, also possible. Yeah, maybe bishop f4. Put the bishop on a slightly better diagonal. The London diagonal. I was just kidding about calling my attention to the clock. You guys don't have to remind me. It's more fun if I sweat it out at the end anyways, right? Thanks, Daniel Acosta. Another student of mine in the chat. Hello, Daniel. Did you lose weight, John? I don't think so. I think I've been sticking around 155, 160. C4? No, let's go rook e1. Maybe I can play e4. Looks like a good position to blast open the center if I get the chance. Ooh, he's going to try to block that. Okay. Fair enough. I'll take. Tuck the bishop on f1. So he still needs to solve the issue of this light square bishop. I mean, he can put the bishop on d7 at any point, but maybe that e4 pawn's a bit overextended. Could be a slight liability getting it out, or getting it safe in the long term. I'm going to try to be annoying with this queen. I'll play queen a4. It does allow him to play bishop d7 with tempo, but let's see what I can stir up here. Plays b6, just a solid move. Okay, maybe bishop c4 now. Bishop c4. Or rook d1. Bishop c7 even. I'm going to play rook d1. I think the bishop's coming there, but if he plays bishop e7 now, I can make an argument for taking, and he'd have to take with the bishop because rook takes runs into queen takes a7. My queen shouldn't be getting trapped. So, nice compact position. Trying to prove that black's overextended. What is your FIDE ELO, John? I think on the live list, I'm about 24-45. I just played a tournament last weekend, and I picked up about 5 rating points. So, yeah, 24-45-ish. Okay, bishop b5 or probably queen a6, actually. Keep a2 defended. And a bishop c8, maybe then rook takes d8. That said, I think black's fine here. I actually don't see much of an advantage for me. He does play bishop c8. Okay, let's try to continue probing. I'm going to keep the rooks on the board. For now. Up a little bit on the clock. Thanks to Jose and Oliver, by the way, for their technical help from Chess24 tonight. Appreciate that, guys. Very first Banter Blitz. Okay, c4. So I could play rook takes d8. I was kind of hoping for this move because it seems to me black continues to overextend. I mean, if I just play queen c4 as well, can black even defend that pawn? Maybe black's going to play rook d3. So I think I'm going to trade this guy and then play queen a4, queen b3, queen b4, not queen b3. Yeah, let's go here. This pawn seems to be a goner. Hello, Jake, in the Twitch chat. Thank you, Avalanche, also in the Twitch chat. Hello, Logan Chan Seller. Spinblade just wanted me to sack the queen on e7. That did not seem like a good idea. He also wanted me to sack the queen on c5. Also, probably not a great idea. And even b6. Yeah, he's debating what to do here, but he kind of got caught with his pieces on the back rank. Bishop b7. Let's take with the bishop here, because if the queen leaves the defensive e8, I win immediately. So therefore he plays that. What if I play bishop d6 now? Ah, no, he can take it. Ah, but then I have bishop f7 at the end. That's nice. Is this move decisive? I think it is. Queen takes d6, queen e8 check, queen f8, bishop takes f7. And I don't think much changes. Just queen takes b5 here. If a6, I can go back to a4. Maintain the threats. Okay, so we're going to get this finale. All right. Thanks for the game, Vanilla. Yeah, I think it was roughly level, maybe up through here. c4 looks like a natural move to try to attack my queen, but I think you're much better off developing or consolidating somehow. So even if you were to play bishop b7, let's say, I can take on d8 and try to deflect your rook, but bishop takes d8, I think you're still pretty solid here. So thanks for the game. Dolgan is next. Good luck, Dolgan. Hi, John. Who are you playing with at the Banter Blitz Cup? I've not looked into it yet. I am playing, however. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have my work cut out for me. It'll be a good challenge. All right, let's get the first Scandi of the night going. Shall we? Let's do it. Now on knight c3, I'm going to play my first Scandi love, the queen a5 variation. Actually, someone was talking about that match that I played with Niklas Huschenbett. And he played a good line against the queen a5 Scandi in that match, even though it was several years ago now. So it's this line with bishop c4, bishop d2, knight d5. I still think that's one of the best ways for white to play against the Scandi. Yeah, h3, I'm fine with that move because I wasn't intending to play bishop g4 anyways, so totally okay with that. Let's play e6. Yep, thanks for the game, Vanilla. He says, that game was so odd. I had not one chance. Good stuff. Like I said, I think you were sticking in there. But c4, I believe, got you in trouble. J. Alfred Proofrock says, John, in a few openings, white or black. I just clicked for me that was your username, actually. J. Alfred Proofrock. He said, in a few openings, white or black has the opportunity to use a bishop on c4/c5 to capture the knight on g1/g8. I was wondering why this isn't more popular, since it also ruins the right to capture very early in the game. You can get a lot of information about where the king will go. Well, in general, you have to be careful about trading a developed piece for an undeveloped piece, right? So that's one baseline reason why it may not be that popular. You also see it with, say, a bishop on f4, like a London bishop, taking a knight on b8. Sometimes it can misplace their king, yes. But yeah, you have to weigh it against the fact that you're trading a piece that's probably active. Also, you're giving up the bishop pair. So that's why you may see some pros who refrain from making that decision. So we'll take that knight, see which way he recaptures. Takes with the rook. He's on my queen. I can play queen b6 or queen d8 here. Let's go queen back to d8. This looks like a very typical Scandi position to me. I'm actually threatening bishop to d6. Okay, he plays knight e4. I feel like this rook is a little awkwardly placed. I don't see a way I can immediately take advantage. Knight d7, he has rook h5. Feels like a piece I might be able to trap, though, somehow. Let's play knight d5. Attack that bishop on f4. Queen h8 posted the pairings for the Banter Blitz Cup. I will give that a look after this. Okay, f5, does that have any merit? f5, f4 weakens my e6 pawn, so not sure I should play it. Kind of tempting, though, huh? Also knight b4. Let's play knight b4. I'm just curious where that queen's going to go. Keep an eye on d4 and also c2. I'm a little bit stuffed up tonight, guys, so hopefully that isn't impacting my my voice quality too much. Coming off the tail end of a cold. Okay, this drops the d4 pawn. Maybe white's idea is c3. I do have queen d3 at that point, though. I think that should be fine. It seems a little bit greedy, but I think it's okay. Let's do it. Yeah, because white's queen's undefended. You might play queen g4 or queen h5. There's a lot of pieces around my king, but in the Scandi, you often try to keep a compact position. Oh, he's going to play knight f6 at this point. That's creative, but I'm still up a pawn. And I can take with the pawn here and take on b4. It's another option. So maybe I do that. For maximum greed. Get up 2 pawns. Cyrano said, how about a Scandi game? And Turfan says, this is a Scandi game. Scandalicious. Yes. Okay, let's bring this back. Play rook d8 next move. Hey, Christian Haro. He's on YouTube. He says, John, it's been a long time. Why are you not on Twitch? Yeah, I've been very busy the last couple of months, so just due to general busyness, I have not been streaming. But I do hope to get back to that sometime soon. My activities are dying down a little bit as far as traveling and stuff like that. So, yeah, look for me on Twitch again soon. Twitch.tv/John Bartholomew. That's my username. Happy to swap the bishops here. He may not want to swap. He might play bishop g3. I think in that case, I'll play rook d5 and just get ready to double. He does swap, actually. Yeah, here too, rook d5 makes sense. He was threatening rook takes f5. Ultra solid Scandi position with the 2 extra pawns as well. Yep, no problem, Christian. Hello to Charles Langkung as well. Okay, f4. Let's get doubled first and foremost. That gives me options. Rook d1. Can play rook d2 as well. Let's go rook d2. Trade. Hit this pawn on f4. Now let's bring up the king. And I'll start pushing my queenside majority. My rook on d4, nicely cutting off that white king so it can't step over to the d file in the queenside. So let's push over here. Could also push in the center, f6 and e5, but just an easy plan of pushing here. If he plays rook b3, after b4, his rook would be trapped. So it doesn't want that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and play c4. Now you could play rook a4 here, because if king c5, there's rook takes a5. But I think I could just play c3. It's fine. Now get the king up and over. Try to help out the c-pawn. Let's push. If he takes f7, I was going to say if he takes f7, I could play rook c5, get the rook behind the pawn. Okay, Dogon, thanks for the game. Yeah, so it seems like queen d3 is saving me there. I thought putting the rook on e5 and then putting the knight on e4 was a little awkward for you. That being said, I mean, had you played, let's say, queen c3 here, I was still debating what to do. I might have gone back to d5 with the knight or something, but seems like you can get away with the rook, but got to be extra cautious that it doesn't get trapped somehow. Okay, so I think I'll play one or two more games. We are already... Or, actually, no, sorry. We still have another 40 minutes to go or so. 35 minutes. So don't panic if I haven't got to your challenge yet. All right, let's play g6, move 1. Vugernathan. I might be able to get one of my favorite lines in. The Jinji Indian. Yes. Love this variation. I played it over the board a few times with mixed results. You give white these doubled c-pawns, you give up your bishop. This pawn on f5, though, does a nice little job of controlling the e4 square. And if white plays routine moves at this opening, they can very easily get a bad position. So, like the moves white's playing here, they seem logical. He's developing and defending his weaknesses, but it's so easy for white to slip into a bad position out of this, because the c4 and c3 pawns are long-term liabilities. Lurk says, not the Jinji. Yes, the Jinji. Oh, yes. Let's play queen a4. Typical Jinji maneuver. Put the queen on a4. Yep, thanks, Dogon. McTall says, I like it very much that you also play against weaker rated players. Of course. And that's the name of the game for Banter Blitz, right? Playing all comers. Most often that's going to mean low rated players. But yeah, I try to do that a fair amount on my channel as well. The Climbing the Rating Ladder series I have on YouTube, exclusively playing lower rated players. Okay, so he's trying to use the e6 square, it seems to me. Let's play h6. Let's just try to kick that knight away. He might... Okay, he doesn't jump in. Will he play for e4? Kind of feels like it. I think I should play knight e4. That looks like a good post for the knight. I don't think white wants to part with their light square bishop, even though my knight is very annoying. Because after the trade, c4 is going to fall. Ooh, bishop back to c1. Now, if knight takes c3... I know I pick up a pawn there, but it allows bishop b2. So I may not want to play that. My knight could escape, though. Maybe his plan is to play rook takes b6 and then bishop b2. That would be intriguing. Okay, so I might just castle here. Short or long? What is the play? Let's castle short. And on a trade, he can play knight d2. Okay, rook there. I think I'm going to play rook here just to defend b7. Look to play knight a4. Might try to shift and attack that c3 pawn. I think he's playing well. He's putting up a good fight here in a strategically kind of awkward position. e6 is another move I should definitely be looking at. I'm going to play e6. Nice pawn structure here, right? See if we can trade and attack c4. Turfon says, hey GB, I contributed about a dozen lines of code to Chessable last year. So cool how your and David's brainchild has grown. Hey, thank you. We really, really appreciate the community support. That's what built Chessable in the first place. So thank you so much for donating your time and your code and supporting the site. Okay, so c4 is loose. If I take it, he can take on b6 again, though. And I take d3, he takes b7. Kind of a bloodbath situation there. I'd really like to keep b7 defended. I can also play knight a4. That move is still in play. Not sure what the right call is here. Let's play knight a4. Attack that rook. He'll play rook c2, I'm guessing. He has yet to take my knight on e4. I would have expected him to take it by now, but he's showing some resilience in not taking it. Yeah, rook c2. I might just move this knight away from e4. Although then he could play rook a3, couldn't he? Okay, let's repeat once. And then reassess. Rook f7, maybe? Or now knight e4? Knight f6, rather. He offered a draw, but I cannot take that. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I just don't like the idea of bishop takes e4 and knight d2, and I might be at a bit of an impasse if that happens. Okay, rook f7, and then I'm finally ready to take c4. After the necessary precautions. Still not quite ready. So if bishop takes, there's rook takes b6. All right, let's take this way. I'm going to trade rook takes a7 and play b5. And that position feels better. Or I can play b6 too. b5 he can trade and play a4 perhaps. Play b6 first. Keeps that on the board. Okay. Okay, stepping here. Repeating yourself is forbidden, says Cranius McBasketball. Good to know. Okay, knight e4. This rook is kind of like looking like that rook on e5 in the previous game. Because now g5 is a threat. That is one awkward rook. Knight e1, and then I can take on c4. Okay. Won some material. Now let's put the finishing touches on this. Rook a7, attack a2. Save this rook, keep the b6 pawn defended, and take. And march the pawns. I think I can just push this. Push it through to victory. Now I'm going to go here. I'm going to greedily keep this. Looking for bishop f3, rook b1, rook h1. Okay, get the checkmate. Vigor Nathan, thanks for the game. Yeah, you put up a lot of fight there. That was good. Because I was expecting some sort of tactic to land or some sort of capture on c4 to work. But with these doubled rooks, you're constantly attacking b7, also threatening some rook takes b6 stuff. For example, if you guys were wondering, chat, if I were to play bishop takes c4 right here, let's say, rook takes b6, and if pawn takes, there's bishop takes c4 check. I was calculating stuff like if I take on d3, he could take on b7 or, yeah, b7 in this case. Wasn't quite sure about these lines. I remember looking at this variation, and then bishop b2. Got to be careful he doesn't land a windmill or something on g7. So, yeah, the Xinji Indian, really fun opening. Extremely easy for white to go wrong if they were to play just standard, solid-looking moves. As I think white did in this game, but again, white put up good resistance. The best lines against the Xinji, so after black plays f5, e4 is a very good line, and h4, h5 is also a good line for white. And you don't have to allow the Xinji. It requires some cooperation from white side. So, if you want to avoid this as white, you can play e4 on move 3, knight f3, basically not allow a bishop takes c3 situation where black is paradoxically giving up the bishop pair, but doubling white's pawns and creating some strategic problems. Okay, next opponent. Prasanga to call. Oh, I just declined. Sorry about that. If you want to challenge me again, that'd be great. Cyrano, I'm going to skip the 5+2 because that's kind of fast. You know what? Yeah, some of you guys have been in here for a while. I'm going to try to hit some of the challenges at the bottom. So, like, laugh. Because I just worry that some people who have been challenging for a while actually got pushed to the bottom. All right, let's play a Sicilian. Big Tall says, not a bad game so far. Yeah, only a few moves in. Laugh is acquitting himself well. Let's play a classical Sicilian. G3. I was looking at this line recently in preparation for an over-the-board game. And I think I determined... What did I determine? I can't remember. I'm going to play it like a dragon. I'll play G6, bishop G7. Let's take. I think I should have taken on the previous move, actually. Because there might have been some e5 business white could have tried. Clearly going to have to look up this game again. Or this line, rather. Okay, bishop g5. Let's play bishop e6. Okay, queen a5. Looks like a standard move. Also hitting the bishop on g5. Still theory. Always theory, says the chat. Tom Petty says, why is the publishing schedule on Chessable not viewable anymore? Maybe Geert took it down temporarily and is adding to it. That would be my guess. Geert is our publishing manager. He's awesome. Okay, bishop d2. Queen c7 or queen a6. Queen a6 actually seems like a reasonable square, but I'm going to go here. Because if he moves the knight, he loses c2. Okay, and now a6 seems reasonable. I have this knight that I can move and it'd be a discovered attack against white's queen, but I'm looking for the right moment to do that. Let's play a6 first. Okay, king over. Weird. I wonder if he's getting ready for f4. Is that the point? But now knight g4 and the queen can't stay guarding f2. Whereas before the king was. Yeah, that's really bad news, because when the queen moves, knight takes f2 check and take the rook as well. I think I'll play b5 after that. Even some issues with the white queen here. Yeah, like if queen a3, maybe I can go check and then b4. Yeah, should be good. There's queen b4 as well, though. Okay, but here, yeah, check and b4. You have to play knight a4 at that point, but looks very good for me. Could play queen b5 then, and go after the knight. Oh no, he plays queen takes b4 then. So maybe take, and then rook b8. Yeah. Or take b2, he takes a8, and then bishop takes a2. It's kind of evil. Oh yeah, let's do that. How can you resist the chance to get a pawn down on b2? Yeah, I think I can just play this move. This bishop takes a2 is such a strong threat. You can play e5 here, but rook b8 is going to threaten b1 queen. Yeah, I'd get this move in. Yeah, the classical can be very transpositional. So here we got a dragon out of it, with white playing g3 and black playing g6. I think the classical is a good place to start if you're interested in getting into the Sicilian. It was very popular in the 1990s. Kramnik, Anand, all these guys were playing it, but it's kind of fallen out of favor because of the Richter-Rauser variation, which is bishop g5. So thanks for the game, Laugh. As I said, I think I messed up the move order slightly. If I recall, yeah, black should play knight takes d4 here, because the move order I played, this allows a good trick to remember, guys. Knight takes c6, pawn takes c6, e5, with the attack on my knight, and also bishop takes c6 coming. So that's why black needs to insert that trade one move earlier. So that was actually a pretty big mistake on my part. I would have had to sacrifice, at minimum, a pawn here, probably more. Okay. And again, working from the bottom, Mr. Normal Name. Also, I'm going to try to get a game with the person who I accidentally declined. Oh, Mr. Normal Name is 2533. I got to be on my guard here. I've been slowly building my rating from 2600, but we have a serious rating test at this point. Okay, let's play like this. I'll play e6. Play a semi-Slav. I'll play b6. I don't remember these lines too well, but see what happens. Hello, Randy Savage. Great to see you as well. Thanks for tuning in. I'm playing David Anton. Oof. Strong young Spanish player. All right. That's why I'm playing in the Banter Blitz Cup. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Hello to Fadley in the YouTube chat. Greetings, greetings. Okay, I could play for c5. Yeah, let's go for c5. Again, there is some theory here that I should probably be aware of, but it's been a while since I've looked at. Snoo in the Twitch chat asked, is classical the traditional closed Sicilian? No. Closed Sicilian is a different line. It's where white's playing typically knight c3, g3, bishop g2. We were playing the open where white goes knight f3 and d4. Okay, here, I'm thinking about taking with the bishop, actually, to expedite my development. I'm going to do that. As if knight takes c5, knight takes c5, I'm on d3. That seems pretty good. I like the look of that. I would expect him to castle here. Just keep the tension. And now I could trade twice on e4 and then just castle myself. That seems very reasonable. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. If knight g5, I can play knight f6. Rook d1, maybe also knight f6, perhaps. Rook takes d8, knight takes e4, should be fine. Okay, bishop g5. I think I'll go here. So this looks a lot like a French Rubinstein position. Where's Georg Meyer when you need him? He's the expert on these structures. Okay, queen f4. I was thinking about queen b8 against this. Other moves possible too. I mean, maybe even h6. Yeah, h6 seems fine. If rook d1, I can take on g5 in between moves. So bishop takes f6, queen takes f6. I think that position should be totally fine for me. He pulls the bishop back. g5 would be too risky. Knight takes g5. Debating between queen d6 and queen b8 here. I think I like queen b8. Let's do that. See where he steps with the queen. I don't think he'll play knight e5 because that puts him in a bit of a pin. Stuff like bishop d6, knight d7 doesn't look that appetizing. Where do you buy giant novelty chess pieces? So definitely talking about that king in the back. So I actually got that as a trophy in a tournament about 4 years ago. And I have no idea where they got it. Okay, he does play knight e5. Proving me wrong. Okay, knight d7 is possible. g5 still too risky. I think knight d7 is the most natural here. Don't think there's any tactical shots I'm missing, but I can just pile up against that knight. Maybe bishop d6 to come, although then at that point he can play knight takes d7 if he wants. Okay, so he plays bishop back. So I can play bishop d6 or I can trade on e5 directly. Bishop d6, knight takes d7, bishop takes f4, knight takes b8. Mass trades. It doesn't seem to lead to a whole lot. This is just looking pretty equal. Thinking if there's some way to spice it up, but I'm not seeing it. Bishop d6. I'm going to play that one. Specifically because it stops his bishop from coming to e5 at the end of the line. I thought that was slightly annoying. So we do this sequence, and yeah, I think we're just going to have a bunch of trades now. Like this. Sorry that this game is not exciting yet, guys. Still chess to be played, though. Did they hide a giant check in the king? No, I got the check separate. But they gave other peace trophies to the different sections. So, like the little kids in the unrated section got pawn trophies. The under 1200 got knights. Under 1600 bishops, etc. Okay, rook e1. Let's get the king up. I think we're both going to be doing that. And let's stake out some center space. Possible pawn endgames developing here. Who wants it more? Either on the clock or with the position. Interesting. He might play g4 here. Maybe that's his idea. It is. Okay, let's try to keep the structure together. I mean, I couldn't resist getting this past pawn. But who's better here? It's hard to say. Now, g4 I think would be too much because I'm going to get two connected pawns if that happens. That seems good for me. Let's play... I don't know. Let's go here. Rook h5, rook f6. I gotta hurry now. Try to get my king over to g6. This might be slightly the wrong plan, but I went with it. I want to go back to the d file at some point, though, when his rook is away from h5. I want to play rook d6 again. I don't know about g3. I think he should have played b4 there and gone for it. Because now I'm going to get this. And rook d3. Check. Rook c2 coming. Ooh, interesting defense right there. Let's not make any rash decision quite yet. Maybe play a4 next. I'll play h5. Stop g4. Still look nicely in control here. Although it will turn out to be a pawn race that I may flag him in. Okay, not sure I was in control at the very end because his c-pawn was coming, but I was up 10 seconds. Okay, Mr. Normal Name, thank you for the game. That was a close one. Yeah, so you spiced it up when you went for f4. That's an ambitious move because it allows black to create the protected passed pawn on e4. I see your point about the undermining, but I'm not sure. My gut is that that favors black, but if you do successfully undermine these pawns while my king is sitting on e7, your plan would be justified. And I was thinking if white plays g4 here, which would be a consistent way of undermining, then I didn't mind this capture because I get two connected pawns here. But again, my king position is a little wonky, but this feels good for black. Yeah, white's pawns are not dangerous. Nathaniel says, don't get flagged, John. Thank you. What is my tea of choice? Asks Sam Tan in the Twitch chat. I'm drinking peppermint herbal tea at the moment. My tea of choice is coffee, though, if I'm being quite honest. All right, let's play the next person at the bottom of the list, which is McTall. Let's do it. Good luck to you. You've been in the chat all night. Let's go. Undefeated so far. Nobody has taken me down. Couple close calls, though. Some time scrambles. That last game was really close. Ooh, the Blackmar Daymar Gambit, the BDG. I actually faced this at my tournament this past weekend. Do I play? Yeah, E5, the Lemberger Counter Gambit. I give this line on Chessable. This E5 move is pretty good here. My opponent in the tournament played Knight C3 first. And we also got the queens off the board really early. I think this is a nice position for black already, though. Go after E5. Yep, my pleasure, J. Alfred. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Bonilla. Says, I've been a fan of John since ICC, where he would be constantly in time pressure. And very little has changed, right? No, but seriously, thank you. I have been working on my time management a bit more. The Clock as a Weapon series. It's so important. It's just absolutely critical to your success as a chess player to manage your clock well. And I have the issue that I get in time pressure. Some people have the opposite problem. They play way too fast, which I would rather have that problem because you can just try to force yourself to slow down. But the chronic time pressure is tough. It's been a persistent issue throughout my chess career. I like this position here. Material's equal, but I'm developing very rapidly. I can castle queenside. White can't castle. Their king is going to be on the run for the next few moves. Knight e2. Can I do something tactically about this? Knight d4, he can take e5. I think just castle here, and assuming king e1. Take, knight d4 check, followed by knight takes c2. Does my knight get trapped? Maybe. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's see what happens here. I don't have to sacrifice this knight on e5 either. Let's say white plays king f2. I can play knight g4 check and then knight takes c2. Going to the back rank looks undesirable for white. If he goes to the back rank, let's say king f1, I think then I can play knight takes c2. Knight takes c2, bishop takes e5. Ooh, so he's stepping right into the discoveries with this move. So knight b3 check. But then knight d2 maybe. Yeah, it's not simple to get it out. Knight g4 comes to mind, but there's bishop h3. Strange. Can play knight c4. Let's play knight c4. Knight c4 sets a little trap. If king c1, natural move to try to defend b2 and get out of the way of the d-file stuff, there's knight e2 mate. So that's a nice benefit of that move. There's bishop h3 check, but I think after king b8, I'm completely fine. Bonilla says, time pressure has been my issue for the past few months. I used to play very quickly, but I started studying and I just happened to slow down way too much. Yes, you got to find that balance. If that's happening, I think that's good, though. That means you're working on that balance right now. Okay, let's take check. All things considered, I mean, knight d2 looks like a reasonable move. Now bishop h3 is very tempting. Bishop a3, rather. Can you play knight b1 against that? Oh, no, but then I have knight e2 mate. I got to go for this move. It's forced. Hi, Adam H. Hello to Axiom Fox. Yes, this is live, Axiom Fox, if you're still watching. Oh, nice. Axiom Fox is one of my Twitch viewers. Peter, great guy. He just moved to Canada recently. Hope you're doing well. And he said he randomly stumbled upon this. He didn't know that I was on Chess 24. Yes, I'll be playing over here a little bit more often, doing the banter blitzes. Okay, knight d2. I really want to set up knight c3 stuff. Also, there's knight a4, which just threatens knight c3 mate. Is that an unstoppable threat? If I play knight a4, how does he stop knight c3 checkmate? What a weird situation. I mean, he has a spite check or two. Bishop h3, king b8, bishop c7, but yeah, he can't stop knight c3. Even if he plays pawn c3, takes, and he can't flee. This is kind of similar to what Magnus did, I think, in a banter blitz when he was on with Jan and Laurent Fressinet. If you guys caught that, where there was a situation where he was mating with a knight on f6 or h6, no matter what happened. And I think he had a bishop on g7. Unusual mating net. Because usually white would be able to play something to survive here, but not the case in this position. Thanks for the game, McTall. Yeah, so this Lemberger counter gambit, e5. Not a bad line at all for black. Striking back at the center. It's kind of like the Falkbeer counter gambit in a way. So you're pushing a center pawn and you're saying, I'm okay with you taking me because you have to give up your right to castle, and black tends to get the initiative here. There's another line I like in the Scandi that's sort of similar to that, which is e takes d5, queen takes d5, d4, black playing e5. And it's a similar philosophy. If takes, you don't take the pawn, you take on d1, you play knight c6, you strand white's king in the center. You don't even mind playing down a pawn for the initiative here. Okay, let's play one more game, and I think we're going to call it a night. So, Giannis McBasketball. Or actually, did the player who... There was a player whose challenged I declined on accident. I don't see them here. So, Kranius, you're the last opponent of the night. But we'll be doing Banter Blitz again soon, I promise, guys. Okay, another d4 game. Knight c3, aggressive. Are we going to see e4 again? Ooh, the Jobava London. Okay, let's play bishop f5. This can be dangerous. Black has to tread wisely here. I do know that. Let's play a6. I'm always paranoid about knight b5 in these positions. So I think it makes some sense just to shut that down. Let white expand on the king side. h4, h6. One player who plays this a lot is Daniel Naroditsky. He plays it really well too. Also, Danny Wrench on chess.com. He also plays this quite well. Let's play c5. Had many a game against Danny in this line. Lagerbear says Central Destroyer. Yeah, that's the reference to that line in the Scandi I was showing. The Central Destroyer, that's right. Can I play knight d7 and maybe take with the knight on c5? That seems interesting. I'm going to try it. I feel like white's often castling queenside here, so maybe getting some stuff going towards their king is not a bad idea. Black does have to be careful, though, because when white gets consolidated on the queen side, they might be ready to push on the king side, so you got to be prepared for that. Tom Petty says, I feel like when you play the Carol Khan, you admit you are old. Carol Khan's pretty reliable. I did some opening research about 10 years ago, and I pruned my database at the time for, I believe, games between 2,400 FIDE plus players, so both players in the game were 2,400 plus, and I found that the Carol Khan was one of the best scoring lines for black against e4 when I pruned it for that. I don't know if that's still the case. so don't quote me on that, but that was one of my findings at the time. Let's castle queenside as well. I'm a little worried about g5, h5 stuff. Okay, I like your plan. I'm going to do the same. Hide the kings. Maybe I can play rook c8 and try to attack down the c-file at some point. But largely just seeing what white's going to do here. See if white will commit to something first. Because I have seen players who are a bit too eager to push and they end up weakening their position as a result. But yeah, rook g1 seems very sensible. I can try to play g5 if I want. But I feel like I might be walking into some sort of e4 business. Let's maneuver. I'm going to try to post this knight on e5 or maybe go to b6. Try to work into one of these squares where I have access to c4 or possibly f3. Bobby asked, was that for all variations of the Caro-Kann or one specific line? Good question. I think I was mostly looking at the mainline Caro-Kann. So knight c3 on move 3, d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop f5. That's a very good question, but I think it was mainly the main line that I was interested in. I don't know how wide I went, just e4, c6, looking at those stats. But that begs the question, if I included something like the advanced variation, which nowadays is very popular, why did I just go back to the square that I was just on? Probably because the e4 square is now kind of weak, so okay. My chess brain just decided to play the knight back to the square it was on a move ago. But yeah, I like the e4 square being weak. I can try to use that. g5. Okay, let's take. And knight e4 coming up. Fresh out the kitchen. I think he's going to put the queen on d4. Looks like a very natural spot for it. But then I can maybe play g6 and just solidify things. No, he surprises me. Queen a5. I like g6 in general here because it stops white from playing g6 and fracturing my structure. There might be some more active way to play this, but no, I'm going to go with that for now. I wonder if he'll play knight c3 and try to trade with me. c4. Okay. Yeah, looks like a good move. Kind of loosen my grip on things. I can play rook h2. Rook h2 is a sharp way to play this position. Might go knight c3 then. Then I have knight d2 though, so let's try that. Just double checking to make sure I didn't have anything too loose because my queen is needed to guard d8 at the moment. But yeah, one tactical point here. Knight c3 runs into knight d2 check, and knight takes c4. Which I think I'm going to have a chance for here. He can sack the exchange. That might be his best bet. He does have something like knight b5 at that point, but even that was looking doubtful. Okay, let's take. Now I'm hitting the queen. I'm hitting b2, also hitting e3. Yeah, queen is hard up for places to go. Queen a4, knight takes b2 is a fork. Lurk says advance is a good reason to avoid the Caro. Yeah, and if you consider that time period, I mean, 10 years ago, people weren't playing the advanced variation as much as they are now. Nowadays, it seems to me that the advance is the main line against the Caro-Kann. I wish I knew the theory better in the advance, actually. Okay. Cronius, thanks for the game. Yeah, I think if you would have centralized, Queen A5 might be fine, but I think in general centralizing here and maybe following with Knight C3 or something makes sense. Try to trade off my knight. Position just got a little loose here. But even at this stage, had you played something like Rook E1, maybe you're completely fine still. Okay. That was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you for all the challenges. I didn't get to everyone tonight, but of course that was going to happen. So this is my very first Banter Blitz. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All of you out there on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. This will be archived, so if you join late, you can find this on, at minimum, YouTube and probably the other platforms as well. But YouTube, it's always going to be there. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any feedback. I'll be doing this again very soon. All right. So yeah, some tough games tonight. Couple close calls, but my rating escaped unscathed. And my record as well. So bring it harder next time, guys. All right, I'm going to sign off now. Thanks again, everyone. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.